Warning, this podcast contains bad English, bad jokes, and incomprehensible references to Italian culture.
Totally incompetent. Totally incompetent. Totally incompetent music podcast.
Welcome, guys. Welcome to the Total Incompetent Music Podcast. Podcast? What did I say?
Here we go.
Who are you guys?
Bongas.
What happens? What's happened?
What's happening?
I think bongas is the right thing.
But
okay.
That
thing that we do sometimes.
That one.
As we say in Italy, beautiful there.
Excellent. That's what our non-Italian audience want to listen every time. References that they don't understand.
Of course.
So, guys, how you doing? Is everything okay? Reasonable as usual. Francis?
Everything fine. I have some great news that are not actually news for the podcast, but just for me, because I'm just selfish.
Oh.
And a new let's say, inhabitant of my apartment joined the crew. So we have Braggart the Infant Whacker. Which is my new drum set.
What the hell?
Yeah, I give it a name, of course. It's much better in Italian because it's Sacripante il mena infanti, but it's also in English. It's quite nice, I would say.
I don't understand because you have a daughter, so let's explain a bit of the relationship between the drum kit and your daughter.
I keep them very far apart from each other.
Okay, fair enough.
With what degree of success? That is the right question.
Very, very low. Actually, my daughter is the drum whacker because she's much better than me, actually, by now. And she's only 1 year and a half, by the way, for those who don't know.
Nice.
A great talent indeed, I have to say.
Welcome, Sacripante.
Fair enough. So I have something to say also what's happened to me recently. So I went to a concert. It was pretty awesome, as usual. Well, otherwise it was a waste of money. But it was an awesome concert. It was a concert at the Jazz Cafe in London. And it was a concert from the artist that was playing was Bill Frisell. Do you know him?
Absolutely not.
Nope.
Okay, he's a jazz guitar player. He is in his 70s, so he's like an old man that loves to with white hair, is like my grandpa. Plays the electric guitar. But he played a very cool concert because it comes from this album that recently he recorded. It's called Harmony. And on stage it was him on electric guitar. There was a baritone guitar, a cello, and a vocalist, so a singer. And it was so absurd weird because it was all about music harmony. So, but in terms of pushing music harmony to the most extreme boundaries. So it means that it sounded everything weird, but it works. So it was really awesome for that. And they made an incredibly cool cover of a Space Oddity by David Bowie. So, guys,
wow.
I recommend it. So check it out. Really amazing.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's also a pretty unusual setup for for a jazz band, I would say.
Yeah, it was very unusual. I saw him before, and he was in the classic trio, like double bass, guitar, and drums. This time it was very different and very, very unique. So check it out.
Cool.
And with the fact that you mentioned also that you bought something, so I went into Gas and I bought a new pedal that
Whoa!
is called the 1991, and technically want to replicate like the guitar tone of the grunge sound in the early 90s, like Pearl Jam, Alice in Chains, and all this kind of stuff. Yeah. Just because of that, but it's pretty cool because it's handmade in a local place here in UK, in a tiny city by a local, like a
Does
local
it actually
business.
work?
Yeah,
reproducing the sound.
Actually works pretty well. It sounds
Cool.
pretty similar. The tone is yet another thing that I bought. I played for 5 minutes and then put it in my cupboard because I don't have time to play much. But that's another story. Sorry, Anto, you wanted to say something.
That's the point. I mean, it's not Gas unless you buy the thing, you look at it, you try it once, and you put it away forever. I mean, otherwise it's just, buying sensible stuff.
Yeah, you're totally right. Yeah, and the final thing that I want to add is the fact that with big effort, I managed to make an amatorial music video of Lazy Theory that is available on YouTube. It's the latest song that I recorded and uploaded on Spotify. So check it out if you want to hear something. As I mentioned, something that is not a noise of a drill or any other kind of noise of this kind.
Or is it?
Wait a minute.
So I'll let you judge the noise of the drill in the recording. So tell me, Francis, you have something to say?
Let me make a very, very quick follow-up from the previous episode, because I talked to one of our listeners, and yeah, we actually have some listeners. It's completely crazy.
What are you saying?
No, it's just one imaginary friend of mine. And
Okay.
so basically, when we were talking during the last episode about Herd Calling from the Porcupine Tree album, I was talking about the Skinwalker Ranch, and basically Izzy said, there's also Mothman, but I understood like Mothman, just saying, okay, like all the other strange stuff like Mothman. So I said, yes, but I should have said no. So I'm not only incompetent, but I'm also deaf. So just be aware of it.
That's a great combination.
Yes, especially when you are reviewing records. I mean, it's
Definitely.
the deafness always helps.
Francis, you are the perfect fit for our podcast, indeed.
Absolutely.
Apart from the spoilers.
I'm also a bit blind, but just in case it can help.
Okay. Do you have a sense of smell as well, or not? Do you
No,
like
all
that?
the chemical senses are gone.
Okay.
Okay, you are reminding me of one of Metallica. So let's see.
Mamma mia.
Very well. So, guys, shall we start with the usual structure? Are you ready for the totally incompetent news?
Yes, we are.
No. No.
Usual
No.
things.
Okay. Whatever.
And now goes the music.
Totally incompetent news.
Okay.
Pildacchio.
Very well, guys. So we gathered, Francis and I, some news for this new episode. And the one most interesting piece of news I found is related to Korn and more specific Jonathan Davis, the frontman, the singer. That Anto is very good in impression of him, by the way. I still remember that.
I was.
He was. It's not great.
Sorry, I won't do it again.
We will keep it in the recording, of course. And
course.
because it's a totally incompetent performance that we need to share with everyone. So I was saying, Jonathan Davis looks like that he decided to launch a line of horror and rock themed pets product. And guess what's the name of this set of products? Freak on a Leash.
No way.
No. Say what?
Yeah.
I love it.
That's
Genius.
and you can go on freakonalish.com to find all the products related to pets. So they are horror themed. I don't know if you saw some pictures.
Please tell me you're not joking.
No,
Please.
I'm not. It's right. But the other funny thing about this is not only the fact that he's selling pets toys, it's also the fact that actually Jonathan Davis is allergic to dogs as well. So that's the thing.
Awesome.
That's the thing. I cannot process why the man is doing that. But anyway, loves pets.
Awesome.
Created this company selling these toys. But I have to say that at least a part of the money goes to charity. So
Okay.
This just made my day.
yeah, exactly. It goes to a charity for animal rescue. So and
nice.
the charity is called Take Me Home, by the way.
Oh.
Awesome.
So nice. On a different note, or on 17 different notes,
Okay.
actually, I read that the ZZ Top bass player, who is Elwood Francis, I had no idea of his name and surname before today. I just know about his beautiful beard.
Is he someone related to you? Because he's a Francis as well.
Have you ever seen myself and Elwood Francis in the same room? I don't know.
No, never. Are you telling us that you are actually...
Who knows?
You are Elwood Francis.
No. But I mean, that beard and those hair, that hair just, I mean, it looks like something quite strange, some disguise or something like that. Who knows?
I'm pretty sure you're doing the same trick as a Superman, that when he wears the glasses is Clark Kent, and when he doesn't is Superman. It's the same. When you wear a wig, you became the bass player of ZZ Top, and without, you became the incompetent podcaster.
You caught me.
That's it.
I'm sorry, you caught me. So basically, he became famous. His video became viral because he was already famous, because he played a massive 17-string bass guitar on stage during a concert with ZZ Top. Basically, Jared Dines, who is a YouTuber, he is very into... he's a good musician, according to me. He's really into gent and metalcore. But he's basically a comedian on YouTube. He doesn't do serious stuff, let's say. He noticed about that, and he said, okay, this is just a rip-off of my 18-string signature guitar I have. And actually, he really does have a signature 18-string guitar. But so there has been a bit of back and forth between Jared Dines and Elwood Francis, but they both have a very good sense of humor, and it just ended up in a lot of laughs and just very nice conclusion, very wholesome between the both of them.
So you're telling me that everyone is dead now?
Exactly. But I'm here,
Fine.
just in case, without a wig. Who knows?
So Jared Dines didn't make it.
Great. So it's nice to know that you have so many possibilities with the 17 strings. So always related to YouTube, there is also another interesting news that I read, is the fact that Zakk Wylde is a very well-known, amazing guitar player, played with Ozzy, actually, for the first time I read that Zakk Wylde is actually human. It's like us, people who try to learn songs. Actually, the news says that Zakk Wylde admitted that to be prepared for the Pantera tour. I think we mentioned this news before, that he's joining the Pantera reunion, so he's going to replace Dimebag Darrell. Is learning some Pantera songs through YouTube, because there are a lot of amazing guitar players on YouTube, and is somehow capturing all this information via YouTube. So I feel better now.
I honestly can't process this kind of information.
Zakk Wylde, one of us. He's one of us. I love it. He's human. Nice. I mean, he can play Pantera. I can't, but anyway.
Yeah, it's also admitted something like that is the first time that he has to use heavily the wah-wah, and it's something that he's not really comfortable with. No, in the interview, there is a full video on YouTube about that by a famous YouTuber, metal YouTuber. His name is... I always forget his name.
That's incompetent.
Yeah, that's really incompetent.
That's part of the game.
The name is... Very well. Let me check it out.
Very well.
Ola Englund. And bear in mind, I saw many videos from him. That's how good I am with names. So he interviews Zakk Wylde, and talks about all this prep for the Pantera tour. So check it out, the video. It's very interesting. It makes him very human. I think Zakk Wylde behind the scenes is a big teddy bear with a lot of love behind.
That's sure for true. I mean,
and a lot of hair too.
And a wig.
Francis, don't tell me that you are Zakk Wylde as well.
No, not that. I've been in the same room as Zakk Wylde. No, that's not true.
Okay, Francis, you have another piece of news that you want to talk about.
Absolutely. A very on-topic piece of news. We just had the MTV Europe Music Awards 2022. We can just care about that. I mean, no. I don't care.
Fair enough.
Sorry.
Fair enough. Going on.
Sorry, Anto, you said that you care instead.
Yeah, of course. A lot.
Okay.
Especially about Taylor Swift.
Oh, yeah, Tay-Tay.
Tay-Tay. What does Tay-Tay mean?
Come on, man.
Okay.
He's young.
Anyway, I know you are metal guys, so you go on.
In fact, today we're totally reviewing a metal album. In fact,
absolutely.
Yes, just to let you know,
brutal grindcore.
Exactly, one of the most extreme albums. Okay, fair enough. Tay-Tay. I don't know what exactly is. So, guys, after this parenthesis, shall we move to the Total Incompetent review?
Of course.
Why not?
Totally incompetent.
Totally Incompetent review.
Okay, so the album that we are going to review very incompetently.
Of course.
It was not very incompetent to say that. But the album of this episode is drum rolls. Geography by...
The one in the title.
Oh, God.
Sorry.
That was a spoiler.
Spoiler!
So it's Geography by Tom Misch.
Falling Delirio.
Excellent.
In Italian, because that's important.
Who the heck is Tom Misch?
Okay, that's very interesting because he's a pretty recent artist. In fact, today, by preparing this episode, I checked his age, and he was born in 1995. And the thing is that it makes me feel incredibly old.
Ah, yes.
That's unacceptable. I mean, I still don't believe there are people born after the fall of the Berlin Wall. So it's 1995 is absolutely unacceptable. It's after Jurassic Park came out.
Wow.
Unacceptable.
We should put a boomer note here in the description.
Hashtag
Yes.
boomer. In the
B
keywords.
for boomer. Okay. So, very well. Tom Misch is a musician that is London-based, so he was born in London. And actually, you can hear from the lyrics of the album that he lives south of the river.
Aha.
Yeah. So he lives in southwest London. And he got pretty popular by producing music on SoundCloud. So, and with a bit of time, he started having his own label and producing music. But somehow this album that is self-produced, actually, Tom Misch was a producer. He mixed the record. He wrote every song in collaboration with other artists. The songs of the record as well, so is everything homemade. So he's 100% committed in this album. Geography is the first album that he made. He made the second album, actually other couple of albums recently.
So we continue our thing that we do albums of the past. I mean, the not really the most recent one.
That's we try to be on time with everything. It's a bit like our news that they came out always late. They are not news anymore.
A month later. Okay.
That's the idea. Also, the records are a bit old. In fact, the record has been released in 2018, April 2018.
Nice.
That's it. We are late.
Definitely.
But with incompetence and style.
That's fine.
So, guys, that's more or less all the information regarding Tom Misch. More in details regarding the record. We have 13 tracks. Is around 55 minutes long. And guys, I just want to hear your opinion here.
I have just a question for you. Do people play this? I mean, played live instruments to record this? Or was only recorded by him?
No, actually. So that's a fair question. Sorry for my incompetence.
That's part of the game.
It's part of the game of the Incompetence podcast. He is mainly a guitar player. So that's the main instrument that he plays. He plays the guitar. There are other musicians, of course, on the record that play the drums, the bass, keyboards, synths. So let's say that he mainly played the guitar and few minor instruments. Like I think in the last track, which is we've come so far, is it puts a bit of a sampling himself, but mainly he's a guitar player. And on the record, other musician actually played all the instruments.
Cool.
So, zan.
Really cool.
So, guys,
Really cool.
now that I answered your questions, I want to listen your incompetent opinion.
If you want, I can start by telling you a very short story. This story is basically the first 2 minutes of the record. That's just everything that represents the whole record for me. So basically, the first song, I don't want to spoil the single tracks, but I need to say something about the first 2 minutes. I'm a living spoiler, you know.
Go for it. Say what you... Now it's the time in which you can say what you want, Francis.
Yes.
Go ahead.
So basically, the first listening was while I was working on other stuff, and I said, okay, let's just try to have a first listening to this album while I'm doing other stuff, okay? So there's this first track in which there is a recording at the beginning, and it's from an interview with a jazz trumpeter, Roy Hargrove. I didn't know about him. And it's just about doing music for love and not for money, and there are some just notes from a guitar, very calm, warm. Then there are some chords that set a very jazzy, warm, calm mood. And I started to think, okay, this is one of the intellectual records from Izzy. It's always the same Izzy, always so intellectual. Then you physically hear the sound of a drummer sitting on the drum set and just sticking the drumsticks. And first of all, that's lovely to hear something like that in a record. And the drums start, and then the bass line. And I was just, okay, you, Izzy. I had to put everything on standby, just close everything I was working on and just listen to the freaking record, because it was the most groovy, funky, amazing thing that I listened 10 years. It's so groovy. It just takes you and shakes your ass, because it's really, I was just bobbing my head for the following 40 minutes, something like that. It was crazy, really, really crazy. So my expectations was of something a bit intellectual, jazzy. I knew Tom Misch had a jazz education on the guitar, but my expectations were completely subverted. And finally, we have an easy listening record. And I'll try to be clear about that, because according to me, it's really easy listening. But, okay, in the previous records, we reviewed musicians just maybe with 1 or 2 chords. I'm thinking about Tool, want to make you feel like you don't know what they're actually playing. Just playing strange odd times, and everything is a bit weird. In this case, we have strange, not strange, but cool chord progressions. Nothing is really obvious. But it's like the Tom Misch wants you to feel like it's easy. Wants you to feel like, okay, you're at home. You can relax, feel the groove, go on, okay. But actually, the chord progressions are not so obvious, and everything that is played from the guitar, the bass line, the drums, the saxophone, the violin, it's crazy. From the technical point of view, it's amazing, but you always feel like relaxed. There's nothing like virtuoso thing that makes you feel like, okay, I have no idea what's happening. That's what I felt. It's really minimalistic, but at the same time, really amazing.
I have to say, in my opinion, some stuff that he plays is not so trivial. Technically speaking,
absolutely.
It makes it, I agree with you, it makes it feel it's a very easy to digest album. It's like eating I have to say, like a very refined chocolate cake. When one of the best sucker tart in the world. So it's sweet, but you can feel that there is it's not something
easy.
Yeah. I don't know. Anto, what do you think?
Well, I have to go on the opposite direction. I'm sorry, guys.
Oh God, no! Contradictory, controversial.
So I'm going to be the controversial one. So my problem is that all you say is true. I see it, I hear it, and I love it, frankly. But I don't know. Every time I heard it, I listened to it, there was something that really didn't make it for me. It was because I could see it was complex. The great grooves. He's an amazing player. He's really amazing. He's really not doing easy stuff. He's great at rhythm. He's great at lead. He's awesome player. And still, something was bugging me, and I really didn't understand what. I hear the groove and I say, oh, this song is great, but in total it didn't really got me. And I think after a lot of listenings, and I have to say it was difficult to me to listen to it a lot of time, I have to say.
Okay.
It went easy later on, but at a certain point, I noticed these claps used as snares, and I think I got what really bugged me, and that the sound of everything was, I don't know, it felt fake.
Okay.
And so I don't know if it was compression. I don't know if it. That's why I was asking, because maybe, I don't know, the drums were programmed apart from the first one, where you can hear those are real drums. But for many of the other songs, it really felt more that the sounds were more, I don't know, not natural. And it felt everything very, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if everything aligns perfectly with the grid on Pro Tools, let's say.
Actually, I confirm my lack of competence, because actually I'm rechecking the Wikipedia page, and the only two tracks that had an actual drummer were tracks number 1, so Before Paris, and track number 5, which is a TikTok. So probably sounds like everything has been the drums are very hip hop, I have to say, and that's not a cup of tea for everyone, I have to say. I'm not into the genre, and I understand why. Probably that's something that bothers you, is the perfect drum beat, very very very
steady
R&B hip hop.
Yeah, just by listening to it, I'm sure there are a lot of samples in it. Also, the bass sound, the bass drum sound, the snare sound, they're definitely sampled. In some songs, also the hi-hat. Yeah, definitely. There are some electronic drums going on, and that's for sure. Yeah, as Izzy said, it's typical of R&B, and you can either like it or not, definitely.
Yeah, my point is that even though I could see I could hear the groove and the technical prowess, and yeah, I mean, the really complex harmonies and everything, that really, but not just the drums, I mean, it's the whole thing, the keyboard, the sound of the keyboards is... It really prevented me from enjoying this album, this record, and I really don't know why. Even because when I was trying to find my top 3, I listened very carefully to every song, and for every song I was like, wow, this is great, wow, this is nice, listen to the groove, wow. And then I listened back to the whole album, and it really felt. It's bad to say it. I don't feel good to say, but it felt generic. I don't know why. It's really not a bad things to say, but it sounds sometimes like some underwear commercials on TV. It's it really didn't get me right. Yeah. Sorry.
No. Fair enough. I have to say that definitely, in my opinion, even though if you search online for the album, in my opinion, this is a pop album.
Yeah,
I'll be
definitely.
honest for you, it is a pop album, and even if it's a very curated in terms of. So it's not a banal pop album, but it's a pop album. So I understand that probably he wanted to wink a bit in the cool, beats, sounds that are pretty used nowadays in commercial music.
Yeah, it's probably the mix of these jazzy, fusion, funky beats. I love when there's mixes of stuff. I loved also the rapping lines. And I mean, sometimes I also listen to hip hop, so it's not really a problem. But probably it's the mixture of all these things with this poppy and not really electronic, but
overproduced.
I don't know. Probably it sounds like a bit overproduced for the kind of product that it is, for the kind of record, for the kind of funky jazzy beats, and it really clashed with me. It
makes sense. Yeah.
Cool. Interesting. If you want, I can tell you a bit what I think of the record.
Yeah.
I can tell you the reasons why I chose the record. So this is I don't know, I sound a bit probably cheesy here, but this is the first record that my wife recommended me to listen when we start dating. So it has a bit of a special place in my heart. So that's the reason why I chose this. I have to say another thing that really makes me love this album. I'll be honest with you, Anto. I chose it because I really love the album. Is the fact that the lyrics, all the themes are very London life based, and I reflect a lot in somehow the way that he lives. So I see a lot of references on the places in London. The famous south of the river is something referred to the fact that there is a big gap, a discrepancy between how London is north of the river and south of the river in terms of public transportation, gap in also
welfare.
Yeah, exactly, all these kind of things. And also the fact that there is a lot of guitar, really cool guitar, and I'm a guitar player, and I'm very fascinated. I was amazed by the guitar part. And I have to say that on that side, I can hear also, as a gear nerd, I digged a bit on the kind of gear that he uses. And I have to say, he's, in terms of gears and sound, very, very inspired by John Mayer. Because, in fact, he's using a John Mayer guitar, the amp, the kind of pedal boards, the effects are very, very John Mayer like. So
I have to say three things. The first is that now I feel very bad at saying those things about the album. The second one is that it's one of my problems with music, with songs. I never look at the lyrics. So I lost all of this. And third, yes, I want to repeat it because this is what really hit me hard, is how good of a player he is. It's really awesome.
Definitely.
I never managed to see him live, even if he's in London. For a reason or another, pandemic, all this kind of stuff, I never saw him actually live. I saw many live concerts on YouTube. I totally recommend him. He plays with an amazing band and amazing musicians, so check it out. Anyway, going back to the record, I have to say it's one of the few records in which I can bear the rapping, because I'm not into rap and this kind of stuff. And I have to say, in a couple of songs, if it's the rapping fits, in my opinion, pretty decently. It's not like, because there are many songs that the rap part feels totally disconnected from the song. Instead, this time, in most of the songs we rap, you can feel that there is actually a connection, a feeling. It is a song that's built end to end, and
yeah, it fits.
Yeah, that's my opinion.
Cool.
So, guys, shall we mention a few songs? Are there some songs that particularly made you say this is amazing, or made you say this is totally beep?
Let's say the right word and not.
Okay.
That's right. So, yeah. What's odd is that one of my favorites of the album is the cover for Isn't She Lovely?
Because it's not by him.
But mainly because it's just guitar. And it's awesome. It's just awesome. It's a beautiful cover. Both on the rhythm, both on the lead. It's just awesome start to finish. It's short, but it's a great cover, and probably that song didn't have all these big other, I feel to say fake stuff around, and it was really great. Yeah.
If I can add something, I really appreciated in that song the background noises, because it really sounds like there is a street performance and Tom Misch is just on the riverbank and is playing and people passing by. There's a lot of sounds and noises, and that's really, really nice. As you said, it's like it wasn't really so produced as much as all the other songs, basically.
Okay, wow. Yeah, I agree. I love the cover as well. It's really feel so really natural. I agree with you. Any other song that you think is honorable to be mentioned, Francis?
Sure. I'll go on with what I was saying earlier, because Before Paris, the first track, just goes into Lost in Paris, because they're not seamlessly linked. There's just a stop, but they just keep the same mood. It's super funky, super groovy. There are some very nice funky chorus that really feels 70s. And there's also the rap by Goldlink on the second verse that I really appreciated, because it really fits the song. And also a very nice trumpet solo by Johnny Woodham on the second part of the song. I really loved the solo, because it really sounded very jazzy, but on a very funky song. They didn't seem to belong each other, but actually they worked together, according to me.
Are you reading my notes? Tell me.
No.
Tell me that you're reading my notes, because it is exactly what I was thinking as well. I love the trumpet solo, because it fits somehow, even if it's a very traditional jazz tone sound somehow if it works. I really like that solo. Instead, I probably is the rap in the song that convinced me the less. To be fair, but I say again, I'm not a huge fan of the genre. So
yeah, I have to say Before Paris is an honorable mention for me because I mean real drums. And I mean the speech at the beginning, and it's really, and the groovy guitar and the whole. I think kind of lose the, I don't know, the edge, how to say, in Lost in Paris. Maybe the name, I don't know. But it's Before Paris. It was fighting for the top 3 for me. Yeah.
Cool.
Okay,
Itzy?
cool. Yeah, I'll be a bit weird again, but another song that I really like, it was a TikTok, and I'm not talking about the social media.
So young.
Yeah, so, and it's actually another song in which there was the real drums here. I don't know, I love all the concept that everything was based on the TikTok of an actual clock, and everything was built on top of it with this super cool groove. And I don't know, there's not even singing in that. So it's just, I don't know, I love the groove. It was really impressive.
If I can add something, it's a very nice song because it alternates this very calm part with the super groovy and nice, very funky parts. And this song reminded me of something I heard once in a Stevie Wonder interview. That if you listen to the start of Superstition by Stevie Wonder, okay, you can hear that the bass drum and the snare just go boom. And everything, the whole groove is just made by the hi-hat that just goes completely crazy, completely off rhythm, off beat, just get some weird 30 seconds notes, and it's super, super nice. I felt exactly the same here. In this song, the bass and the snare are just boom, ka, but the hi-hat goes completely crazy and it's super groovy. As you said, you can definitely notice it's one of the songs where you actually have the drummer, and also the bass line is wow.
Yeah. In this case, I didn't like all the rest. Sorry. This was one of the songs that really, even when I hear them again, I really felt like I'm waiting at the call center for someone to answer, and they are playing this music. I don't know. I'm sorry. It's just didn't make it.
Fair enough. No problem. So Anto, is there any other song that made you found something interesting or something really bad that you want to talk about?
There are. I want to assure you.
There are plenty.
Maybe not plenty, but yeah, there are good ones that I really liked. And one of them is South of the River.
Wow, yeah.
One of the first things that really caught me was the bass line in there.
Wow.
That really took my ear. And that is one of the songs that really I listen to more, how to say? Yeah, I like it. I really like it. It has a great groove, great bass line, even though it has a lot more of this producing stuff. But in the end, yeah, it works.
It took you quite a lot of effort to say you liked it.
No. I mean, it's...
But it's also in my top 3 actually. And the violin, I mean, That's one of the strangest use of violin I've ever heard on this kind of song, and it's so groovy. I didn't know a violin could sound so groovy.
Yeah, regarding violin, I agree with you. The violin is very, the riff is very weird to hear that in a funky groove. But I have to say that as far as I know, Tom Misch played the violin as well when he was a kid. So I'm wondering if somehow that's why there's violin in some places in the record.
Makes sense.
Also, if you want to hear a violin in an unexpected place, please go listen to Lazaretto by Jack White.
Oh, right.
Another place where you can hear the weird violin is me playing violin, full stop.
Nice, we want that.
We want an Instagram story now.
Yeah, now that we have an Instagram, we can add the Instagram story of me playing the violin. I have to find the violin because I think my wife won't let me touch her viola at all.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Especially given the fact how much I can play that kind of instrument. So, Francis, any other song that you find interesting, very emotional?
My final song in the top 3 is Disco Yes, and as in the title, there's a lot of disco going on. It's super funky, super groovy. I have not a lot to add, except for the fact that it features also Poppy Ajuda, sorry for my for butchering this name, and on additional vocals, and the voice, wow, it's a very, very cool voice, very soul tone, I would say.
I have to say, yes, I know this is disco, this is funky, this is lovely. There's nothing I should not like about it, but yet it really felt like lounge music for
elevator music,
an happy hour in center of Milan.
Okay. So like a.
It's not bad, but it's
Okay. Well, you see, probably Tom Misch was trying to invest in different kind of direction, like putting the music in an elevator. Also as lounge music in a bar when you drink a cocktail. So it's a very smart producer. You see, he's trying to fit, trying to maximize the record in different kind of sets.
Turns out he actually owns an elevator company, maybe.
In which
wow.
mind blowing.
Blown.
Izzy, any other song?
In my top 3 there is You're on My Mind.
Oh, so romantic.
Very romantic. In fact, it was played at my wedding, if you noticed.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, exactly. Probably is one of the simplest songs in the record, but it is I don't know. I probably am a romantic person, so very simple, very touching, very emotional, and I love the solo because it's one of the kind of solos that is just few notes, a bit of delay effect, a bit like I don't say same as Romeo and Juliet by Dire Straits, but that kind of vibe. I don't know. It's few notes, light, perfect, and finally, compared to the record of Porcupine Tree, there is some strumming that is a bit more original. There is a lot of acoustic guitar strumming here, but at least with a more interesting rhythm.
Yeah, I have to say this is in my top 3 too. Yeah, it's probably one of the most simple, probably a little pop maybe, but not really. It really feels, especially in the beginning, a little more like a 70s ballad. It's really nice. calm and I really, really love the solo at the end. As you said, few notes, well placed, with nice effects, but not too overwhelming. It's just perfect, and yeah, that was one of my favorites. Yeah.
Cool. And did you guys like any other of the ballads in the record? So basically, movie or Men Like You?
Okay, yeah, movie is a bit of one of the singles of the album, but it's the most commercial, and for some reasons is not the one that one of my top three. You mentioned also Men Like You. Actually, it is in my top three.
Wow.
Because I don't know, it's just guitar and violin, and I don't know, it creates this super nice atmosphere that I really, I don't know, it gave me some feelings inside.
Yeah.
Ante, what do you think of these two songs?
He has no feelings.
No. This no. I have to say. So, movie. I felt it was a little, not so inspired, but it's a really nice song. And also, Men Like You. It's not one of my favorites, but yeah, it really creates this relaxing atmosphere, and it's really, really, really nice. As you said, it's just guitar, violin, and yeah, it's soothing, I would say.
Definitely. Yeah, about them, I didn't find them extremely exciting, actually, especially movie. It's really, you can hear it's a single. It's very pop, probably the most pop in the record. And actually, my honorable mention, we didn't mention it. It runs through me. I only chose songs with a rapper. I don't know, whatever. And it features the rapper De La Soul, and I really appreciated the mix of bossa nova, pop chorus, and rap all together. I think it keeps the groove, but at the same time they fit together, I think.
Yeah, I agree with you. Nothing else to add. You're reading my notes, clearly.
No.
No, I also have to agree. Trans Through Me was one of the competitors for the top three, and I would say it's fourth, so it's close third, as I said. But yeah, the bossa nova and the groove and rap vocals, they mix very well together, and yeah, it's another one that I really like.
Yeah, this song, I have to say, well, it's the most streamed on Spotify, first of all, so of the album. And second thing, I have to say, there is one cool factor that I love about the song is when it says, she told me to add the bass line, and the bass line starts. That's something I said,
that's
man,
great.
This is a cool move. You know how to make things cool.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yes, definitely. That's a nice touch. Yeah.
Okay, did you want to mention any other particular song, guys?
I want to leave with Come So Far to the End, and I'll tell you later why.
What are we missing?
We are missing a Water Baby and 'Cause I Love You.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Okay,
so it's fine.
perfect. On Water Baby, I liked the weird melody in the singing of Tom Misch. For some reason, it was a bit all pretty weird in terms of progression of the notes, the intervals. That's but I agree, it's not the one that comes out the most in the album, according to me.
I agree.
Francis?
Definitely agree. Nothing groundbreaking. Nice, cool, but nothing particularly extreme.
elevator music.
Okay, great. Elevator music. We remind you how clever is as a producer.
The financial move.
Call centers, line, elevators, and cocktail bars.
Great. These are by the million.
Yeah, exactly. Is a millionaire now, even if he still lives probably in overpriced flat in London. There is also, "Cause I Love You," also here a funky dance song, but nothing that is not probably the best one.
I really like the bass line, but that's it. That was a very, very cool bass line, 70s like, but that's it.
Yeah, really nice funky disco thing. For some reason, there's something that really annoys me, but I cannot say it. For the life of me, I cannot say what it is. So,
yeah, and the final track is with "Come So Far," so that we are commenting and talking about. And I wanted to leave it at the end because we came so far to talk about it.
Nice
move,
nice touch. And I think it's also the reason it's at the end of the record.
Yeah,
but that's just
I appreciate also the incredibly creative lyrics of the song, which is "We Come So Far," repeated probably 30 times. Any comment on I think is a nice wrap for the end of the album. It's just clearly a conclusion, like to close everything. Is there anything that you want to add on this?
Absolutely agree.
Yeah, I feel like it's one of the most single genre songs, because it's really more of an electronic song.
Yeah.
I don't know, for something it reminded me of Justice. So in some ways cohesive, and it works well with all this overproduction thing. It really fits in this situation. So it really, in this case, it really worked. I would say, and it's a nice wrap to the whole album, I'd say. Yeah.
Okay. And with that, guys, we are ready for the final part, the most exciting part, the scoring.
Whoa!
Blah, blah, blah.
Tension.
So,
who's going to start?
You, Francis, because you open your mouth for saying something.
That's always my most common error. So, all in all, I have to say, for me, this was really, really nice discovery. I think there are some few songs that are really super, that are really cool, that I couldn't stop listening. But in general, there are no bad songs, I would say. There are not just really songs that, okay, this could have been out of the album. I think they all tell something. The main problem, I think, it doesn't take risks. So I feel that and that's probably something that also Anto felt, that Tom Misch just wants to please the listener, typically, and sometimes it doesn't push the song where it could be, I think. I don't know if I expressed this in a nice way. So, all in all, for me, it's 8 out of 10 bobbing heads.
Okay, great. Francis, Anto, what's your score?
It's really difficult. I think that if I had to say a score song by song, it would be a lot higher. But in general, it didn't really get me. So I would say 6 claps instead of snares, with 1 clap just because Tom Misch is an amazing guitar player.
Was a sampled clap or a real clap? That clap?
No, definitely sampled.
Okay, so it's my turn. I would say for me is 8.5 groovy lines, groovy bass lines, even if the guitar it's probably the main instrument in the whole record. Because there is a bit of a sentimental attachment to it. I'm a bit biased probably for that. It's so easy listening. I can put it on and
go on the elevator.
Yeah, exactly. Or in during when I wait for complaining about my broadband with my broadband provider, and if I hear that song, one of the songs, while I wait to talk in a call center, probably it makes me feel better compared to other weird, unexpected songs that you can listen.
Albano, for example.
Albano never happened. We have to put a link in the description about Albano.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so for me, it's a nice album. I love the jazzy part. The guitar playing is great. It's a pop album, in my opinion, with a lot. I agree. It's not... I don't score it higher because I agree. It's it's a lot of nice stuff, but it's not something totally new.
Absolutely.
It's a lot of stuff. It did a very good work in stealing ideas from a lot of artists, putting everything together. But there is nothing I felt the incredibly wow factor.
Guys, but we got to the end of the episode and we didn't say masturbation once. Oh, I just said it. Sorry.
You mean you beep said it?
I beep said it. Yeah.
Okay.
I was very careful this time.
Okay, guys, let's wrap up.
Definitely.
Thanks everyone for listening.
Yeah.
It was good.
And see you next time for the next episode, guys.
Maybe hear you next time.
Or see you later.
Yeah, we are doing a lot of perception failures on the 20th here. Anyway.
Cool.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Ciao.
I'm too old.